All right, lads and lasses, gather around. Let me tell you about Richard Trillion. Richard, he were a right proper lad, but he had this weight, see, 224 pounds he were, and every pound weighed on his mind as much as his bones. Richard, he weren't stupid, he knew about eating right and all that. But there was something else holding him back. Richard, he were an emotional eater, see? When the world got tough, he'd turn to food for comfort. He just needed to find a way to break free from the grip of emotional eating. Richard's journey took him down a different path. It weren't about starving himself or punishing himself with endless hours on the treadmill, no. This were about understanding his mind, the way it worked, the way it sabotaged him. He started reading books, listening to podcasts, anything that could shed light on the mysteries of the human mind. He learned about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the hidden engine room where our habits and beliefs are formed. Armed with this newfound knowledge, he set out to bridge the gap between his conscious desires and his subconscious programming. See, our minds are powerful things. Richard realized his conscious mind was like a little boat bobbing on the surface. And beneath lurked this massive, powerful subconscious, driven by years of ingrained habits and beliefs. His subconscious associated food with comfort, with escape. Richard knew he had to find a way to communicate with his subconscious, to convince it that there was a better way. And that, my friends, is where Richard's four-step method comes in. Now, Richard, he knew he had to tread carefully. This subconscious mind, it weren't like a light switch you could just flick on and off. He started by learning about the power of his own mind. He realized that if others could tap into this hidden power, then so could he. He just needed the right tools, the right approach. See, Richard, he realized that his mind was like a computer. It had been programmed with certain beliefs and habits over the years, some helpful, some not so much. But the good news was he could reprogram it. He could install new software, so to speak, that would help him achieve his goals. He started catching those negative thoughts and challenging them. Instead of saying, "I'll never lose weight," he'd say, "I'm capable of achieving anything I set my mind to." He started to believe in himself again. Richard had stumbled upon a powerful truth that change starts from within. Now, this weren't just about thinking positive thoughts all the time. Richard, he knew that life throws curveballs, but now he had a new set of tools to deal with them. He learned to recognize his emotional triggers, the situations that sent him running for the cookie jar. He started to pay attention to his body's signals, to the difference between actual hunger and emotional cravings. He was literally rewiring his mind, one thought, one choice at a time. Right, let's talk about the first step in Richard's method imagination. Richard, he knew that our minds are incredibly suggestible. The things we see in our mind's eye, the stories we tell ourselves, they have a profound impact on our thoughts, feelings, and even our actions. So he decided to use this to his advantage. Every day, he'd close his eyes and imagine himself at his goal weight. He'd see himself looking fit and healthy, feeling confident and full of energy. Section 2, the power of vivid detail. The more vivid and realistic you can make these mental images, the more powerful they become. Richard, he'd imagined the taste of healthy food, the way it made him feel energized and satisfied. He'd picture himself exercising, feeling the burn in his muscles, the sweat dripping off his brow. By repeatedly visualizing these positive outcomes, Richard was essentially rewiring his brain. He was creating new neural pathways, new associations between healthy habits and positive feelings. Section 3, rehearsing for success. Richard, he made visualization a daily practice. He'd spend a few minutes each day, usually first thing in the morning or last thing at night, immersing himself in these mental rehearsals. He started to notice that the cravings he used to experience, the ones that used to derail him, they weren't as strong anymore. It was like his mind had found something more appealing to focus on, something more aligned with his true desires. And you know what? It It wasn't just about the weight loss. Section 4, from imagination to reality. See, when you change the way you see yourself on the inside, it inevitably starts to show on the outside. Richard's newfound confidence and self-belief, they were like a magnet, attracting positive people and opportunities into his life. He started to make healthier choices effortlessly, almost without thinking about it. And the weight, well, it started to melt away, slowly but surely. Richard had finally cracked the code. Now, right alongside this imagination lark, Richard, he discovered another powerful tool, affirmations. You see, words, they have power. They have the power to build us up or tear us down, to shape our beliefs and influence our actions. Richard, he realized that he'd been bombarding himself with negative self-talk for years. He knew he had to fight fire with fire, or rather, negative words with positive ones. So he started using affirmations, short, powerful statements designed to challenge and replace those limiting beliefs. At first it felt strange, almost like he were lying to himself. But Richard, he persisted. He knew that repetition was key. The more he repeated these affirmations, the more his subconscious mind would start to believe them. It were like building a fortress, brick by brick, to protect himself from those old negative thought patterns. And slowly but surely, something started to shift. Now, you might be wondering how this all works, right? Well, there's actually a scientific explanation for it. You see, our brains are incredibly adaptable. They're constantly rewiring themselves based on our experiences and the information we feed them. When we repeat affirmations, especially with emotion and conviction, we're essentially sending new signals to our brains. These signals create new neural pathways, new connections that strengthen the beliefs we're trying to cultivate. It's like building a new road in our minds, making it easier for our thoughts and actions to travel in a more positive direction. Now, the third step in Richard's method, it involved something a bit more old-fashioned, writing. That's right, lads and lasses, putting pen to paper. But hold your horses, because there's a certain magic to scribbling down your thoughts. Richard started keeping a journal. It was a place to be honest, track progress, and unearth the root causes of his emotional eating. Sometimes it were about the food he'd eaten, the emotions he'd felt. Other times he'd reflect on his goals and vision for a healthier future. Writing helps you organize your thoughts, make sense of emotions, and see things with a fresh perspective. Richard found journaling helped uncover emotional triggers behind his eating habits. He saw patterns between moods, situations, and snacking. Stress at work led to late-night snacking. Arguments with his partner resulted in takeaway binges. Loneliness sent him to the cupboard for sugary snacks. Identifying triggers helped Richard develop healthier coping mechanisms. Instead of food, he'd go for a walk or listen to music, or call a mate for a chat. He broke automatic responses and ingrained habits. Journaling was about self-discovery, not judgment. It helped understand the why behind his actions, shining a light on hidden patterns and finding constructive ways to deal with them. Another thing Richard did in his journal was to set realistic goals and track his progress. Now, these weren't just about the number on the scales. He also set goals for things like drinking more water, eating more fruits and vegetables, and moving his body for at least 30 minutes each day. Each week he'd review his progress, acknowledging his successes and identifying areas where he could improve. If he'd had a particularly tough day or slipped up on his goals, he'd use his journal to reflect on what had triggered it and what he could do differently next time. See, this whole process, it wasn't about being perfect. It was about being consistent, about showing up for himself day after day, even when he didn't feel like it. His journal became a tangible record of his journey, a testament to his commitment to change. And as he filled those pages with his thoughts, feelings, and aspirations, something remarkable happened. He started to believe in himself again. Section 4, Writing Your Way to Success. You see, the act of writing down his goals and aspirations, it made them feel more real, more achievable. It was like he was creating a blueprint for his future. a roadmap to guide him towards the life he wanted to live. And the more he wrote, the more he started to embody those positive changes. He became more mindful of his choices, more aware of his thoughts and feelings, more committed to his own well-being. His journal became a source of strength and inspiration, a constant reminder of how far he'd come and how much he was capable of achieving. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds a bit touchy-feely, doesn't it? But trust me on this one, lads and lasses. The power of the pen, it's not to be underestimated. So grab yourself a notebook, find a quiet corner and start scribbling. You might be surprised at what you uncover. Richard's final trick, recording and listening. The subconscious mind is like a sponge. It absorbs what we hear repeatedly. So he recorded positive affirmations. He spoke with conviction. He listened every day. It felt strange at first, but he trusted the process. You see, Richard, he understood something crucial about the subconscious mind. It doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. When he listened to those recordings, his subconscious mind soaked up those positive affirmations as if they were gospel truth. It was like programming a computer. Every time he hit play, he was installing new software, updating his system with healthier, more empowering beliefs. The more he listened, the more those affirmations became ingrained in his mind, slowly but surely drowning out the old negative self-talk. He started to notice a difference. Those cravings he used to get, they didn't have the same power over him anymore. It was like his mind had found something more appealing to focus on, something more aligned with his goals. And you know what? It wasn't just about the food. He felt more confident in all areas of his life. He stood taller, spoke with more authority, and approached challenges with a newfound sense of optimism. Section 3, consistency is key. Now, just like with the other steps, consistency was key. Richard, he made listening to his recordings a non-negotiable part of his daily routine. He treated it like brushing his teeth or having a shower, something he did without even thinking about it. And the results, well, they spoke for themselves. The weight continued to come off, not through deprivation or punishment, but through a newfound sense of self-love and respect. He had more energy, he slept better, and he felt more comfortable in his own skin than he had in years. He realized that this whole journey, it wasn't just about losing weight, it was about transforming his life from the inside out. It was about breaking free from the chains of emotional eating and stepping into his full potential. Section 4, reaping the rewards. Richard's story, it's a testament to the power of the human mind. It shows us that change is possible no matter how deeply ingrained our habits or how many times we've tried and failed in the past. It teaches us that by working with our subconscious mind rather than against it, we can achieve anything we set our minds to. So there you have it, lads and lasses. Richard Trillion's 4-step method for overcoming emotional eating and achieving lasting weight loss. It's not a quick fix, mind you, but a journey of self-discovery, a commitment to growth, and a testament to the power of the human spirit. Give it a go and you might just surprise yourself. So there you have it, lads and lasses. Richard went from 224 pounds to 163 pounds of confidence. He did it with the power of his own mind. He changed his thoughts, his beliefs, his relationship with food. And to that I say, why not? Richard wasn't born with superhuman willpower. The power to change comes from within. It's never too late to rewrite your story. This 4-step method, it's not about deprivation or punishment. It's about understanding the power of your own mind, creating a new relationship with food based on nourishment and respect. This journey, it ain't always easy. The important thing is to keep going, even when it's tough. Remember that feeling of empowerment from making a positive choice. So what are you waiting for? The power to change your life, it's in your hands. Embrace Richard's 4-step method, make it your own, and watch as you transform not just your body, but your entire life. Imagine yourself a year from now. Picture yourself standing taller, smiling wider, radiating confidence from the inside out. Imagine yourself fit, healthy, and full of energy, finally free from the grip of emotional eating. Feel the pride swelling within you as you slip into clothes you never thought you'd fit into again. Hear the compliments from friends and family, amazed by your transformation. Most importantly, feel the deep sense of peace and contentment that comes from knowing that you are finally living in alignment with your true potential. This vision, this future you, it's within reach. But it all starts with a single step, a decision to choose yourself, to believe in your own power, to embark on this incredible journey of transformation. The time for change is now. Your new life awaits. Go get it. Pause 3S. You've heard Richard's story. You've seen the transformation that awaits you. Now it's time to take action. You can get Richard Trillian Mante's weight loss book called You Will Keep Struggling to Lose Weight Until You Try This 4-Step Method of Losing Weight from his website, richardmante.com, and also from Amazon. Pause 2S. This book is your guide, your companion on this journey to a new you. Packed with insights, practical tips, and Richard's proven methods, it's the tool you need to finally break free from the chains of emotional eating and embrace a healthier, happier you. Pause 2S. And while you're at it, kindly support this channel by pressing like, share, and subscribe to get future amazing videos. Your support helps us bring you more content that inspires, motivates, and empowers you to live your best life. Pause 2S. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Embrace the power within you, and let Richard's book be your roadmap to success. Pause 2S. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Pause 2S, your transformation awaits. Go get it.